So, hi, Vanessa. Thanks for meeting with Mom and I last week. I know we talked about a lot with Mom last week, and I was just wondering how you were feeling about how that went.
Um, I think it went well. Um, it's still hard for me to deal with and think about, but I
hmm
guess it's good that she was at least able to talk about it and say how she's feeling.
hmm So, for you, it's been a week. How has that worried feeling that you were talking about, been this week compared to last week?
I think it's still there. Um, I do
hmm
get worried a lot, and I don't know. I don't think it's ever gonna go away. That's how I feel. Um, just when I think it is gone, then something else happens, and then it's back again. So it's like it never left.
hmm So, are there certain things that bring up worry for you? I know last week you had talked a little bit like when you see Carla at school or when mom and dad tell you, hey, going to work for the day. So, when do you think the worry happens the most for you?
When people I care about are going somewhere, or
hmm
when they're going somewhere where there might be people that they don't know. Um, I just don't like the thought of anyone leaving anymore because of what happened.
hmm So, has there been a time that someone's left and not come back, or does that part, stick in your brain or no?
Well, aside from Carla being, you know, taken, um, there hasn't been anything since that, but that's kind of what really just takes over everything. And that's, I think that's where it all comes from, is I'm terrified that it could happen again to her, to anyone else.
hmm So, would you say that that worry is still, a big part for you of what's going on in your life right now?
Yeah, I'm super worried and I get frustrated and sad about things, and sometimes I even feel really anxious about it because that worry just kind of overwhelms me.
hmm So, what would you think about doing something with a pen and paper today? I know you had said that you like drawing, and that's something that you do a lot at home and at school when you have free time. So, would you be willing to do something with pen and paper with me today so maybe we could look at some of those worries?
Yeah.
Okay. So, I have this paper here where I've drawn a tree and I've drawn some apples.
Okay.
So the tree kind of represents those worries and the different ways that it's kind of branched off into other areas of your life. And then we have these apples here that are the specific worries that happen. So I was wondering if maybe we could share this paper and then we can decide, which one of us wants to draw or, if you're comfortable with me writing it, you writing it, whatever you want to do. So we're just going to start with this tree. And I just want to pose that question to you. Would you like to draw on the tree or would you like me to draw on the tree?
Um, you can draw on the tree.
Okay. So when you think about things that you worry about, I know mom had said, it's happening at home, it's happening at school. A little bit from our conversation, when you see Carla, that could sometimes bring stuff up. So when we're looking at those specific worries, um, where are the places in your life where you tend to worry? And we're going to put those on our tree trunk here.
Um, I do worry at home a lot, but I think most of it's at school, or even when I'm out with just out in the neighborhood with people, and
hmm
that freaks me out.
Okay. So on our tree trunk here, and I'll show you as soon as I'm done writing it, I've put home, I've put school, and I've put neighborhood because those seems to be the big places of worry for you.
Mhm.
So when you're in those three places, we're going to take these apples and we're going to write some of those worries down. So what would you say specifically are some of the worries that you have at home, school, or in your neighborhood?
Um, in my neighborhood, I worry about the people that I don't know that are around.
hmm
Um,
So would it be okay if I wrote down like strangers?
yeah. And then at school, I really worry about just my friends and my teachers. Um,
hmm
I'm scared that they'll leave one day and then they won't come back.
So I put an apple for friends and teachers, but should we also make one that says people leaving, maybe?
Yeah.
Okay. And I know you talked a lot about how at home you're worried about when mom and dad get ready to go for work. So should we put mom and dad in one of the apples?
Probably, yeah.
Okay. Talk to me a little bit more about, is there anything else at home? I know mom had said that you wake up and your stomach hurts a lot.
Yeah, I think that I get really worried about the entire day, and sometimes I just don't want the day to start because I don't want to risk anyone leaving or losing anyone. I
Mhm.
I don't want anything bad to happen, and I'm scared that
Mhm.
when I wake up, that might be what happens. Is something terrible could happen again.
Okay, so starting your day for you is a big deal.
Yeah.
And I also want you to know that, I don't think it's unhealthy to be, worrying about other people sometimes because we care about them a lot. But sometimes when the worry gets so big and those apples get so big that we're having a hard time, dealing, that maybe we can find some way to pick some of those apples off the tree, maybe. And
Yeah.
so that they're not so big anymore. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Okay, so we have strangers, friends and teachers, people leaving, mom and dad, and starting your day. Can you think of any other apples that we should be putting on this tree?
I don't think so.
Okay. So I thank you for being willing to do that, and I'm going to show you this tree that we've made together.
Okay.
So it looks like a lot right now, but
Mhm.
I think that the more we're able to talk about some of those feelings that we're having and talk about ways that maybe we can bring those worries down a little bit so the apples aren't so big or they start to fall off the tree, or we can pick them off the tree and put them in a basket, that this tree's not going to look as big as it does right now.
Yeah.
So how are you feeling about your tree right now?
Um, I feel like it weighs me down a lot, but then
Mhm.
again, I don't know how to move past what's happened. So,
Mhm. So I guess in our sessions that are coming up, maybe we could take some time to look at each one of these apples and see kind of the story behind the apples and see if there's any way to, make those things a little better for you. How does that sound?
no, that sounds really good.
Awesome.